Hey lovers, welcome to Wedding Talk with Juliet. Thanks again for all of your questions on our Instagram Q&A. Today we'll be going over a few of the questions about colours, styles, trends. There's an interesting question there on discounts and a couple of other bits and pieces. So let's get started. What are some popular colour combinations? So this is a really good one. We are very much about colours and tones, finding exactly the right combination to give depth and create a particular look for each wedding. Roses in particular come in, it's around about 115 different colour varieties and shades. So we have such a huge amount to choose from, which means that we can really get the colour combinations exactly as they need to be. So I think obviously whites and creams and pale blush pinks are a really good combination. They work really well together. The colour of the pink exactly will give either a more soft romantic feel, it can be a little more modern luxe, just depending on exactly the depth and the tone, whether it's a warm or a mauve or kind of more of a dusty pink kind of colour. Another popular combination is your pinks, your whites and your reds. That is really bold, it can be really nice for winter. We actually just posted some photos on our Instagram from a wedding that we did last winter with the beautiful rich reds and the nice soft pinks and the crisp whites. So that's another great combination. You can go all dark, and that is becoming, I think, more popular at the moment as brides are getting a little bit more confident with exploring darker options and not necessarily keeping it so, I guess, classic with the whites. So your dark reds, your burgundies, your pops of fuchsia, even your deep purples, incorporating a little bit of black into that is also a great way to get that depth and the nice moody kind of feel. So I guess they're three colour combinations that are quite popular at the moment. It's your whites, creams, pale blush pink. It's your blush, your reds and your whites, and then your darker tones and pushing it as far as incorporating some black. Next question. What style is in trend at the moment? Oh, this is a good one. I feel like we touched on this a little bit last week with the kind of modern luxe feel. So lots of big turned roses, the Ecuadorian roses, kind of that really frilly, fluffy look. Peonies are really good for helping achieve that look, but like we spoke about last week, peonies are only in season, such a short amount of time. So I think that modern luxe style is really in trend at the moment, along with your pampas grass, different kinds of grasses and textures. There's some behind me here. Just lots of unusual things, and it doesn't need to be a lot of that, just a little hint of that throughout the flowers can really create that kind of modern and on-trend look that we're seeing a lot more of at the moment. Lots of dried flowers as well. It's always interesting to see what is coming into trend next, and we travelled a couple of years ago to California in the US, and I feel like Australia is, maybe about 6 months to a year behind California. They have some amazing florals, and just the way they arrange things is kind of wild and bohemian, and I feel like we see that kind of come through to the Australian market about 6 months to a year. So it's always a nice idea to keep an eye on some of your key florists and some of your designers that are over there, because it's a good chance that whatever you see there is going to be coming here soon. Next question, do you have items available for hire? Yes, definitely. So we have a range of, hello Stanley, he's trying to steal the show again. So we have a range of great items for hire. So we have a lot of different types of arbors for your ceremony. So you have your rectangular and your black and gold, white, lots and lots of different styles. So you can go your standard or your more traditional rectangular shape. We do have the horseshoe type arbor, the gold circular. We also have black in the circular. Obviously lots and lots of different vases, whether it be your really tall ones for building taller bar arrangements, your smaller ones for sitting directly on the table. We have lots of urns, lots and lots of different colours, ceramics and cement style. We have tea light candles, have plinths, gold tabletop towers. So we absolutely have a huge amount of items for hire. We offer delivery on the day as well, and we can set that up with your flowers. So if there is something that you are looking to hire, it is best to ask us. Chances are we will have it. If we don't have exactly what you're after, we probably can get it through our suppliers. And it's always easier to get as much as you can from one supplier rather than having to make inquiries, get pricing, wait for an answer, and then be paying multiple deliveries and pickups on the day as well. So if there is something that you're looking to add to your wedding, chances are we're going to have it, so just let us know. So this is an interesting question. Do you give winter discounts? If we're running a special at the time, yes. We don't always run a special over winter. I guess it just depends on where we are at with our marketing and if our marketing manager decides to put a special on. I know that a lot of venues do discounts for winter weddings. They are obviously a lot quieter at winter. It's not technically peak wedding season. Peak wedding season seems to be from around about October, November through till about March. But for us, flowers are actually a little bit more expensive in winter, and we do still have a huge variety of flowers to choose from, but roses in particular can be a few dollars extra, or maybe $5 extra per bunch. So when you look at a whole wedding, even if it might only be a few dollars extra per bunch, it really does add up and increase prices there. So because of that, we don't standardly give a winter discount, no. But if you do have a particular budget in mind, and we touched on this last week as well, best to let us know what your budget is. And we might not be able to necessarily offer a discount as such, but there might be some way that we can tweak things or move things around a little bit to get on the price that you're after. Another interesting question: can my ceremony flowers be repurposed? And again, this is an interesting question. And we completely understand that brides would not want their flowers to go to waste after having just been used for half hour or 1 hour ceremony. So in some instances, there are times where we can repurpose the flowers. If you're having a ceremony at the same venue as your reception, then we probably can move the whole arbor or move pieces from it and pop it on your bar or the welcome sign or something. If it's at a separate venue, not really. We have said yes in the past, and we have seen that guests will get a little bit excited, and they might knock the flowers down the side of the chairs, or we might have something on the floor along the aisles, and they get stood on or they get kicked or whatever it might be. They also then need to be transported again, and flowers don't really like being transported. So if we say yes to that, then it has happened before, and it's a bit heartbreaking for us that we get the flowers to a reception and they're looking not so happy. We might need to pull a few out, replace it, that kind of thing. So I think repurposing flowers, it really depends on each individual case. What flowers exactly you're having, what the arrangement style is, the shape, how detailed it is, if it's something that we are building on site. And again, if your ceremony and your reception are at the same place, or if they're two separate locations that are completely apart. So again, probably best to ask us that, have a chat with us. There might be something that we can suggest for your ceremony that can be easily moved, but generally speaking, it's something that we don't really like to do, and not because we're trying to get you to spend more money on flowers, but purely because the flowers don't like being transported, and they don't always survive and look as pretty as what we would like them to if you were ordering them just for whatever it might be at reception. Another good question: do you work with wedding stylists? Yes, definitely. So we have quite a few stylists that we partner with, that we work closely with. So they'll come to us with their client's brief, what their budget is, what their style is, and then we'll create the florals for that, and then obviously deliver and set everything up as it needs to be. In saying that, we do a lot of wedding styling ourselves. So it might be just basic things like popping down tea light candles, putting out your name cards, serviettes, tying of the serviettes, putting little bits and pieces, the bombonera or whatever it might be. That's our most basic styling. And then it goes all the way through to choosing colour palettes, choosing styles, helping with different suppliers and putting you in contact with the right people, or getting quotes together for you so that you don't have to do that, or you might be a little bit time poor, or you're just not quite sure how to go about it. We go all the way through to looking at venues with you, completely coming up with concept for the day, and all of your styling across the whole wedding and across your engagement and everything. So yes, we work with stylists is the answer to that question, and we also do a lot of styling ourselves. So whichever end of the spectrum you might be on, have a chat with us as well about that, and we can see where we might be able to help you. some questions from this week. Over the coming weeks, we will be interviewing and having some guests on the show. Next week, we will be having Sunny from the Sunny Life and Sunny Clark Makeup. She's an amazing girl. Her makeup is beautiful. Her outlook on life is just incredible. We do a lot of work with her, and we're really looking forward to have her on board. So stay tuned for that next week. But in the meantime, thank you, stay safe, and we'll see you next week.